I have always had a passion for excitement and adventure, even at a very young age. Growing up in the country, I was always found outside playing and exploring new places or things. As I grew, my passion for adventure grew as well.
Like we were floating, we never noticed where time was going. Do you remember when we first got here? The days were longer, the nights were hot here. Now it's September.
In college, my love for travel and exploration grew even more. I even considered studying abroad, but would have had to add an additional year to my time spent in undergrad, so I decided against. However, I ended up meeting a best friend that would become my husband and travel companion. John proposed to me in the Outer Banks in 2011, and we were married in the following year in 2012. Our honeymoon in Cabo San Lucas is where our travels began.
This is my winter song to you. The storm is coming soon. It rolls in from the sea. My voice a beacon in the night. My words will be your light to carry you to me. Is love alive? Is love alive? Is love? They say that things just cannot grow beneath the winter snow, or so I have been told. They say we're buried.
Our next big adventure was to Barcelona, Spain. My college roommate and her now husband were teaching at an international school in Barcelona. They invited us to stay with them during my school's spring break. We fell in love with the culture. We loved exploring the small, winding cobblestone streets, tasting the various foods, and embraced the culture on that trip. Shortly after our trip to Spain, I was extremely moved by the experience. I felt like I had a better understanding of the Spanish way of life, and I knew that I wanted to continue my travel and explore for the rest of my life. I made a life goal to travel to as many countries as possible and at least each continent in my lifetime. As culture is a large part of the second grade social studies standards, I wanted to be able to share my experiences with my students and find a way to bring travel and culture into my classroom. I received an email one day from the Licking County Foundation in which teachers could apply for a foreign travel grant. I decided to apply on a whim and I won. 6 months later, at the end of July, we were on a plane headed to South America, to Peru, in which we would endure a 4-day, 3-night backpacking trip through the Andes to reach Machu Picchu. After doing some exploring in the cities and becoming accustomed to the Andean lifestyle in Cusco, Peru, we set off on our trek. It was extremely difficult. Being 14,500 feet high was a definitely new experience for me. Hiking 28 miles over the course of 4 days felt like we were hiking 1 million miles. You would take 5 steps and simply be out of breath. While the trek itself was extremely challenging, I kept reminding myself of the beauty that surrounded me and how I might not ever experience anything like this ever again in my lifetime. The trek reminded me not only how strong I was for completing it, but how strong the Incan people were for building something like that, this magical city, without any technology. When we finally reached Machu Picchu City, I felt an emotional connection to this place. Maybe it was the fact that I had survived. I had done something I never thought I could do. I had pushed my body to its limits and endured what the Inca people endured during their time. Or maybe it was the fact that I was extremely hungry after hiking in the mountains for 4 days. Either way, I did not want to leave this almost magical and mystical place. As I reflect back on this experience, I feel a sense of empowerment. I feel a sense of accomplishment. Many physical feats that I defeated during those 4 days. But that would not have been possible without my husband, John. He had my back. He held my hand and he encouraged me both verbally and non-verbally. When I thought I couldn't keep going, he was a source of strength for me. John and I like to think that our travels are not over, but rather they are just beginning.
And wait for the day